today, and that was quite an introduction. So now I'm really under pressure to stay within time. It's great to be here today. Some similar faces, new, and a lot of new faces too, which is really great to see. So I'm glad to be here and to provide an overview of some of the work that we're doing and new innovations in the monitoring work. So just to kind of frame NERACOOS and what we do, all of the work that we do is oriented around stakeholder needs. All of you in this room are stakeholders to NERACOOS, in addition to people that are on the water every day, the fishermen, the Coast Guard, the weather forecasters. What is the information they need to make decisions, and how do they need to see it and visualize it and access it? So generally speaking, that is what all of us do at NERACOOS, is to kind of work through those various subsystems and think of it more holistically as a system. So what I'm here speaking about today is kind of our evolving marine life program. So I put this figure up here just because it's kind of an interesting image, and it shows all of the different diverse ways we can monitor the ocean and coastal environment. Everything from remote sensing to buoys, and then down throughout the water column, and how this interacts with our marine life and how we monitor this marine life system. So in the Northeast, this is a picture of the Great Bay buoy, which some of you might know, which Tom Gregory operates, and the team at UNH. So this is an asset that we help to support. And recently it went through a renovation working with New Hampshire partners, DES and Great Bay Research Reserve, and I'm forgetting UNH, of course, and PrEP, to better meet the needs of the region. And in addition to buoys, we support a number of coastal stations, some work with remote sensing, gliders. We have a number of buoys offshore throughout the Gulf of Maine. Also connected to the system are modeling systems with the Northeast Coastal Ocean Forecast Systems, and all of this information comes together through consistent data management standards that makes it accessible to all of you, and through various different products or integration. So thinking about how we monitor the marine system, we use that core observing system as the backbone, and we have chosen to evolve it in certain ways based on core sentinel indicators of change or key locations. One of the key priorities, and this is an evolving program with NCOS and IUS, is implementing a sustained ocean observing system to monitor harmful algal blooms. Right now we have a lot of research efforts. There's a lot of great work that Liz and others are doing here in Great Bay. More broadly, how do we understand how harmful algal blooms throughout the region? We are working with Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. You can see this autonomous vessel here being loaded onto the Gulf Challenger. And underneath this is an imaging flow sidebot that can take pictures of the critters through this water column. And there's a picture of the Tripos bloom from the summer. Cameron will be speaking about that more later today. But this is a pilot program to test this new technology to get into some of these more remote locations. This summer, it was deployed for a month out at the Isle of Shoals. We are hoping that this can be part of a rapid response to harmful algal blooms in locations that are difficult to access. And it's a new technology that we're testing to deploy in new locations. We're also looking at key sentinel locations, and I realize I've moved a little bit beyond New Hampshire, but there are applications potentially throughout the region of how we monitor the water column. So Stellwagen Bank has a National Marine Sanctuary, has a number of management priorities. In addition to, it's a really popular place for tourism, for fishing. There's a lot of convergence of multiple needs here. And so we are kicking off a new effort in partnership with all the folks identified here on the bottom to co-locate and build a new buoy that will meet all the needs of the sea state information, the information that the Weather Service needs, as well as that's needed by the sanctuary. So something that's really unique about this is that we will be integrating real-time passive acoustic information into this buoy design, which is really unique and something really new and novel, since these chains and these buoys are out there all the time. They make a lot of noise. So what we're hoping to do is to integrate passive acoustic monitoring as well as a number of other sensors, so we can really start to look at the system more holistically to understand the changes that are occurring. Also, we are working with a number of folks, and Nathan's in the room too, looking at marine biodiversity. Doing this in a number of different ways. We are working with a few different projects. As you can see, collaboration is the name of the game for everything we do. One of those is through monitoring Calanus and Marchicus throughout the Gulf of Maine and what that means to the food web. As I said, working with Nathan in the Coastal New England MBON program, and then also looking at tag species and identification of biological hotspots. And we have some new evolutions of this project in the coming years. And one of these is to take some of this plankton data that we've been collecting through this MBON work, and Cameron is leading up this modeling effort to better understand how Calanus moves throughout the food web in the Gulf of Maine and the implications to the forage fish at Stellwagen Bank. So really thinking about all of these various components to the ecosystem and the different levels and how we can really think about the system more holistically. Additionally, we're working with the Northeast Fisheries Science Center on plankton and trying to think about what kind of data products do we need to really understand the changes that we're seeing in plankton throughout the region. So we will be hosting a workshop this spring. If you're interested, please let me know. Okay, I'm getting close on time, and this is my last slide. Also really exciting is the expansion of thinking about soundscape information. In the Northeast, we're lucky there's been a really wonderful baseline soundscape information collected. And there's going to be a lot more coming online with the states. So now what do? How do we think about what information we can pull from this? We of course can pull information about some of the whales, the cetaceans, the fish, but what's beyond that? Thinking about precipitation and other key factors. So we will be working on that in the coming years. Okay, thank you everybody.